Hey guys, Chris here from Personal Survival Tactics, and today we're doing a little review on a book that I'd found on Amazon a little while back. If you are into self-defense books, Kempo, karate, self-defense in general, I think this book is for you. It's definitely out of print and probably hard to find at this point, but this is Dynamic Self-Defense by Sam Allred, and it's called Dynamic Self-Defense, and I love the little subtitle, Rough and Tumble Combative Skills You Can Learn from Kempo Karate and Kung Fu. This was published in 1967, and Sam Allred has a background in Judo and Kajukenbo. He's a Kajukenbo instructor. Here's a picture of him from the late 60s. And the book starts off with an introduction, talking about his background. These are some of the people that are helping out with the book. And talks about self-defense. And there's some really great points in this book. When we get to the actual self-defense techniques, you'll see. But just even here, he has some general fighting techniques he talks about. And I think they're great points and still hold true today. He has one here, do not hold back. If forced to fight, fight all the way. Make every possible attempt to quickly conquer your attacker. Do the unexpected. Keep mentally alert. Move with as much speed as possible. Don't wait to be defensive. It's going to be trouble. Wind it up immediately. Learn all the techniques you can on both sides. Key eye when you attack or defend, and develop your own fighting techniques, basically. So I think those tips are great, and it's still holds water today. So anyway, we get into the book, and we start off. He's got some basic blocking techniques he shows. Inward, outward, upward, and downward. And I love how the book is shot, that they're in street clothes. It's funny, they're actually doing this in suits, but very common from the late 60s. Basic strikes, he's covering to different targets. Gets into some basic kicks, more kicks, and talks about choking techniques, gets into choking techniques that can be applied on the body. There's one by using a club, rear choke using a club. Come along techniques, gets into that. Some throwing techniques he goes over, some basic throwing techniques. There's one against a roundhouse punch, just a basic switch, followed up, basic block, heel palm, and takedown technique. A little hip throw. More takedowns, looks like a reverse wrist takedown, yeah. Some ground fighting ideas, defense from the ground, knock down on the ground, using your legs to kick and take down the attacker. And then he gets into part 2, Kempo defenses. Kempo is a big part of Kajukenbo. And he starts off with choke defenses. And if you know or study Kajukenbo and know Kajukenbo, you can see that these are definitely based off Kajukenbo ideas. Rear choke. What's he got here? Wrist grab defense. Lapel grab defense. Shoulder grab. Behind. So you got double lapel grab or double shirt grab, however you want to look at it. Defense. Then he's got defense against punches. hammerlock defense. If you're into Kempo, American Kempo looks like a variation on Flight to Freedom. Side headlock defense. Looks like Grip of Death. Bear hug defense. We got here another bear hug defense. Looks like a hip throw involved. Full Nelson defense. This is kind of a neat part. It's very Kempo. If you're a Kempo student or instructor or Kaiji Kempo, very common with both those arts. Follow-ups on the ground. You're dealing with the guy who's still on the ground, who's still a threat, and he's talking about striking the guy while he's on the ground. He's showing different combinations to do that. And he talks about it here just a little bit, and he goes, downed opponents are still dangerous. If your attacker is down, whether you slip, was thrown, or knocked down, you must continue your attack, lest he get up and finish you off, perhaps for good. So, it talks about making sure the guy is no longer a threat. Even though you knocked him down, he still may be a threat. So it's kind of neat. You don't see too many books with that in. Another one, if the guy's knocked down, how you can have follow-up while he's on the ground. There's one more. There's a little bit of a shadow on the book. Hopefully that's not obstructing anybody's view. We shall see. And let's see what follows that now. What's next here in this book? One more. It kind of resembles the technique Dance of Death. And Dance of Death. Maybe a little bit of Leap of Death in there. Similar ideas. And what's next? This talks about precarious situations, and it's got club defense, a club defense technique dealing with someone with a club. Kick defense. And it goes into knife defense. There's a knife defense technique, using an object to throw in the guy's eyes. And then continue your counterattack. It's kind of cool. I love these. This is always cool. Chain defense against a chain attack. You just don't see that anymore as far as in any modern self-defense books. But very common in the 50s and 60s, and it's pretty cool. Another one, defense against a chain attack. And then gun to the stomach, dealing with some gun defense. There's one gun to the front, to the stomach, which is looks very similar to World War II combatives technique. Basically, clear the line of attack, wrap the arm to control the weapon's arm, and then counterattack. And they're doing a heel palm of the chin, followed up with a knee to the groin, or what we call in the combatives field the chin jab. And then one more, gun to the back, which is basically looks like World War II combatives again. So it's funny, it's interesting. There's like an almost that, a lot of these guys were veterans, whether they had picked some of this stuff up, while they were in the service, or, that the guys who created some of the combatives had picked it up from them. So you wonder, where it came from originally. And that's it. That's the book. So that is the book, Dynamic Self-Defense, based on Kempo Karate and Kung Fu. It is out of print by Sam Allred. If you can find it, I recommend it. I think it's a great book. Again, if you like self-defense books on Kempo, if you're into, just practical self-defense combatives, it's a great book. And I highly recommend it. So there it is, Dynamic Self-Defense. All right, guys, until next time, stay safe. This is Chris from Personal Survival Tactics. I'll see you soon.